This is our showstopper round, as it is called. I have asked our champions to bring their best work so we can see what their Bardic muscles truly stretch for. So without further ado, can I please introduce Ainsley Herrick.
So for the past year since I joined the SCA, I have been traveling across Antir and other places and collecting stories into a project that I refer to as the Tales of Scadia. These are stories that I promise are 100% true, no exaggeration whatsoever. So this is a tale from Tainbo, which was my very first event last year and is hosted by my Barony of Clifton. And I'm going to move this chair out of the way because I'm going to trip over it if I don't. Our story begins in the Kingdom of the West, where there lived a renowned storyteller by the name of Hannah. Through the years, she had traveled far and wide, regaling the people with her wondrous tales. For you see, Hannah was no ordinary storyteller. When she spoke, she wove magic with her words, so that all who heard her saw her tales come to life in front of their very eyes. Through this gift, she had made many friends along the way, most notably the Baroness of Hona of Carrick-Vaughan in the far-off Mid-Realm. Though Hannah had never actually visited Carrick-Vaughan, the Baroness was so impressed by her skill that she made her the champion bard of Carrick-Vaughan that very day. But that's a story for another time. Now, every year in the land of Glendufen, the people would host Tainbo, the great cattle raid, and Hannah would never dream of missing this event. This year was especially momentous because the Shire had recently grown into a new barony. As Hannah was preparing to set off on the long journey north, she received an important missive from Baron Honda of Carrick-Vaughan. He asked that she and her wife Fawn serve as his ambassadors to Tainbo and invite the new barony to join him in a gifting war against Westermark. He sent her out with the very stern instruction, "Don't do anything I wouldn't do." And so Hannah and Fawn set off to the north, bringing with them gifts for the new barony, but also a plan. For you see, Tainbo is no ordinary event. It is a war. But it is not a war that is won on the battlefield. No, it is won through alliances and betrayals, through trickery and mercenaries. Throughout the 3 days, attendees are awarded golden coins and shining gems for their feats. But they do not keep these for themselves. Instead, they use them to declare their allegiance to the Shire or barony of their choice. At the end of the weekend, whichever branch has collected the most coins wins the honor of adding their arms to the Tainbo banner. Each branch will go to great lengths to win the allegiance of as many attendees as possible. And you'd be surprised how many are willing to betray their people in exchange for a fine cup of mead. And so Hannah and Fawn had devised a clever plan to ensure that at the end of the weekend, it would be Carrick-Vaughan who took home the banner. For what bards can resist stirring up a bit of trouble? They arrived at the end of their long journey and were immediately greeted by a gaggle of small children who had already been hard at work earning coins. The children asked them what they were meant to do with these coins that were quickly filling their pockets. And so Hannah, generous as she is, offered them a trade. 1 cookie in exchange for 3 coins. Now everyone knows that children cannot resist cookies, and so they eagerly made the trade. But they did not know that Fawn had woven her own magic with these cookies, making them so deliciously irresistible that the children would come back again and again, trading away all their coins. But sadly, this would not be enough to win the banner, and so next they sought out the adults, offering their finest mead in exchange for coins. Most of the adults were actually quite skeptical of this because, well, they'd never actually heard of Carrick-Vaughan before. And so their progress was a bit slow the first 2 days. But at the end of the second day, it came time for them to make their presentation in court. And so they brought forward their gifts for the new Baron and Baroness. The Baron was a little bit uncertain of the invitation because sitting amongst those many fine gifts was a beer of, let's say, questionable quality. A brave champion offered to test it for him, but after finishing it off in a single swig, he declared he couldn't tell whether or not it was poisoned. Though the Baron and Baroness declared that they needed time to ponder the invitation, this display proved to be what was needed to turn the tide in the war. Now that people knew who they were, alliances began to form. First one barony and then another poured out their coins into Carrigbon's jar until there were only two left, that of Glenduffin and that of Carrigbon. Such a thing had never been seen before in the history of Tainbow. The final day dawned, and with it, the mercenary auction. Only one person remained, a bard who held in their hands 24 coins. So full were the jars that no one could tell whether those 24 coins would make a difference or not. Now, normally, any remaining mercenaries would be offered bribes, but for the first time ever, all anyone had to offer was words. Hannah asked for leave to speak, and being granted it, she stood before the mercenary saying, "I have nothing to offer you, for I have given everything I have. All I have to offer is a dream, and if you buy this one, you get one free." My first dream is this, that one day people will look up at the Tainbow banner and they will say, "Old Glenduffin, New Glenduffin, Cordeval, Timberhaven, Myrtleholt. What the hell is that?" I think this is a dream we can all share. Seeing this dream come to life through the magic of Hannah's words, the people laughed and agreed that it was indeed good. And then she shared her second dream, which brought even more laughter from the populace, and that they agreed was also very good. Next, people began to stand and speak on behalf of Carrigbon, a barony that none of them had ever heard of until 2 days before. Even the Baron said that he would not hold it against any member of his populace who chose to support Carrigbon's cause. And the Baroness, in her ethereal glory, said that perhaps if a foreign barony were to win the banner, the baronies of Antir would fight all the harder to win it back next year. In the end, the bard poured out their coins to Carrigbon, and a final count was taken. 341 for Glenduffin, 373 for Carrigbon. The 24 coins had won the day. And so, as the great cattle raid came to a close, Hannah gathered all who had helped to win the banner underneath the Tainbow banner, and the portrait was made. And that day, her second dream came true as she sent it off to Baron Honda with a simple message. "We won you this thing. It's your problem now. You're welcome." So for those of you who weren't there and didn't get the joke, Baroness Melisandria was not able to be there in person due to COVID, so she was on the street, which is weird. Yes.
That'd be your questionable quality speaker.
Yes.
Yes.
That there's a lot even in this that we have
Please welcome our second competitor, Robin Bowring.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Today, I have the absolute joy of sharing with you this wonderful instrument. It is a mountain dulcimer, which is an instrument with a long, long history. It is modernly popular in the Appalachian area of the U.S., but it comes from it is in the zither family of instruments, and there are many medieval paintings with this instrument portrayed largely unchanged. Today I will be singing a song based on a poem written in the 1600s, The Goose and the Common. It is a song that, the poem was written about the process of enclosure, which was the process by which the common lands, which were shared lands where people could grow crops, graze their animals, be just shared parks, lands, farms, things like that, were slowly being enclosed by nobility who were claiming the land as their own, saying, no, you've got to pay me to till this land, you've got to pay me to live here, work here. It's the beginning of fiefdoms and of capitalism as a whole. So the poem of The Goose and the Common bemoans this process, and the tune that I am singing it to, I first became familiar with via the Askew sisters, who have a beautiful version that is cello based. And when I heard it, I knew I had to learn it, but could not play cello, and figured that a drone instrument would be the way to go. So I borrowed a mountain dulcimer from a friend of mine, and I loved it so much that my friends conspired to get me this beautiful instrument built in the 70s. It's gorgeous. It's in open tuning, so CGC. Ooh, that's cool. For the law condemns the man or woman who steals the goose from off the common, but leaves the greater villain loose, who steals the common from off the goose. For the law demands that we atone when we take things we do not own, but leaves the lords and ladies fine who take things that are yours and mine. Oh, the law condemns the man or woman who steals the goose from off the common, but leaves the greater villain loose, who steals the common from off the goose. Oh, the poor and wretched don't escape when they conspire the law to break. This must be so, but they endure those who conspire to make the law. Oh, the law condemns the man or woman who steals the goose from off the common, but leaves the greater villain loose, who steals the commons and off the goose. Oh, the law condemns the man or woman who steals the goose from off the common, and geese shall still a common lack until they go and steal it back.
We literally just say that over here. Andy, don't forget your chairs.
Oh, God.
And finally, in this our third and final round, can we welcome Lady Zuleka?
The mic's on the side of the pillar.
So this is a hammer dulcimer, the other dulcimer. Also a zither. It finds its roots from Persia, unless you're talking to the Chinese, in which case it came from China. It's got multiple strings per note, so there's a lot of stuff to go wrong. I am doing a medley of Playford songs that I put together 4 or 5 years ago. So I hope you enjoy it. Apparently the stage is not quite solid. Well done.
Has it been?
It's been phenomenal. What's brought me joy?
You're in the Corvaria.
I do feel blessed to live in the place of the summits where there are so many different and varied talents of our bards. This has been a very difficult day and also a very joyous one. Thank you so much. Can we please have one more round of applause for all of our bards? So now we're going to go have some difficult conversations, and the winner of this contest will be announced at tomorrow's court, I believe, in the morning. Thank you all for being here.
I believe that we don't have anything until 4 at 6. So I think this is the time for you to get dinner if you wish. Because court is at 6. It's almost coming.
Yeah, we have a.
We're in the show. I love how we got a message there at the bottom. Hello, Summits. Oh, see, it's going to be you. That's even better. Hi, I am going to not at all abuse and harass our Bardic contestants for today's competition with not at all irrelevant and ridiculous questions. Okay. Hi. So you've been playing for 1 year?
Yes.
Not even 1 year, because
Yeah.
Tainbo was your first event, and that's in May.
Yes.
What brought you? Well, see, you don't want to see me. What brought you to the SCA?
Well, so I first met the SCA when I was living in Arkansas and was at a Ren Fair merchanting, and we ended up camping next to them. And that was in November of 2019.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So then I ended up moving cross country to Oregon and in 2021. Yes, sorry, I had to think what year that was.
It all blends.
It all blends together, yes. And I was like, I don't know anyone out here. There's a local SCA branch, and they seemed pretty cool when I met them before. So
Yeah.
I'll go check that out. And they roped me in, and here I am.
That is fabulous. I love stories like that. That is, yeah, excellent. So I missed your first piece for today. What was your first piece?
It was a 16th century Scottish court song called A Duo Daisy of Delight.
Uh-huh. Sorry. Yes. Hello. Sorry. The child was checking to make sure that they were alive. That I was alive. I don't know. So 16th century Scottish court song
by Andrew Blackhall with lyrics by Alexander Montgomery. They both wrote for the court of King James VI.
Oh, how fun.
So,
Yeah, excellent. And the dragon story from earlier, that was very fun. You have an affinity for dragons?
yes. Enjoyed dragons. But they gave us the words, and I had no idea what to write. And Clem was like, just write a story about a dragon.
It worked
I'm
out
like,
really well.
That should be obvious.
Yeah, that was excellent. Did you have a specific person in night mind?
No.
Just
No.
a lovely stabby
Yes.
night. That was excellent. Yes, and I really enjoyed it. You were remarkably accurate for a STA story, I have to say. Having been there, that was there was very little inflation. So I have to say, we had actually heard of Carrick Bond before, but only because we had done a class with Baron Sammy.
Okay.
So
I'll have to update that to most of them
I know.
I've never heard of.
I don't know that we count, but it was like it's an ethereal connection. But well, excellent. And so, what do you enjoy most about performing in the Bardic arts?
So I mean, I've been performing since I was a kid and love singing, and I've been a writer for a really long time. So
Yeah.
storytelling too. But I really love how supportive the Bardic community is, especially since we've got such a great community.
You do.
and
They're pretty awesome.
It's very encouraging.
Yeah. Excellent. And thank you so much again for bringing us the different pieces and stories. And you will represent and do fabulous. I don't know why I bother trying to talk. Fabulously here and brought delight. Thank you. And Liz, congratulations on being my first interview. That didn't go wrong at all, did it?
No.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Oh, there's someone in the chat. Oh boy. Okay. Thank you. So, no, oh, I forgot. Yes. So my previous interviewee was Lady Ainsley of Ainsley Emmerich, I believe, of Glendufen. And aren't you glad that I am learning on the fly here with you? Next, I have another victim to be harassed. Oh, we're gonna do it this way. Hold on. I'm gonna do it this way. We're gonna
Okay.
Right. This is rub it in. This is the lovely Lady Zuleika. I'll start. Oh, there's my dogs. You can't see. No, they're okay. There's my dogs. Here, hold this. Hold this. Thank you. Constance, come here. This is a professional. Hi, Constance Marie. So, Lady Zuleika really likes dogs. Woof. No one's tail was just pulled.
I
out of
didn't
nose.
pull. I secured.
Grabbed, secured. Anyway, hello.
Hi.
How are you today? How did you feel about your competition?
I think like the competition as a whole, or my competition, the individual people.
And all of it.
The competitors I was up against were amazing. It was a great I enjoyed the varied skill set.
I have to agree.
When you think of Bardic, sometimes you just think of the Bardic circles, and so you think a lot of singing. There was some instruments, there was storytelling, there was singing. It was very cool.
It was a lot of fun.
And I really appreciated as much as it freaked me out, the improv aspect that she introduced to this one. Because it's different. And it isn't done very often. And it puts you on, and it really tests what you can do.
It does. Oh, we have impromptu guests.
Woo-hoo!
Hello. I introduced you this time. I mean, while interviewing Zuleika.
Well, before interviewing Zuleika.
So talk to us. Speaking of the improv, talk to us about the instrument that you got today and used in your performance.
So this morning, while I was shuffling things around, I saw Temperance, Her Excellency Temperance, with what was obviously an instrument case. And I asked her about it, and apparently it was for the donation take thingy majigger, and it was a Hawaiian tremoloa, which I'd never heard of before. But apparently it was produced in the 1920s.
Oh, interesting.
Because people really enjoyed that twangy Hawaiian sound they got from the movies and so they made an instrument for the purpose of making that noise.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's not something I had seen before, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed how you incorporated that into your,
I figured
into your performance.
if I was going improv,
I almost interviewed you too, Your Excellency.
might as well go for improv with like, okay, I just figured out how this
super
works.
improv.
Let's go.
Well, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the performance very much.
Yeah.
So my next question, the piece that you played, I happen to know it's 3 different pieces,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
What are they? Are they from the same period? Are they?
I believe they're from the same period. They're recorded
Okay.
from the same period. They're attributed to John Playford, which means he at least wrote them down.
Okay.
Whether or not he wrote them originally, we may never know.
Right.
But the first one is called Black Nag,
Mhm.
the second one is called None Such, and the third one is called Jenny Fuck Paris.
Okay. What made you choose those 3 pieces together?
They all use the same key.
Oh, look at that.
so,
Excellent.
I had,
Necessity is the mother of invention.
for the Bardic competition I was in that I created that piece for, there was a minimum time limit,
Ah,
and Black Nag was not going to cut it, and I didn't want to just play it over and over again. And then I discovered that the key I had learned Black Nag in originally, way before I met the SCA, was different than the key that John Playford wrote it down in, and that's where I shift keys in Black Nag, and then I found a couple other songs that I had been introduced to None Such through Bar Dance,
excellent.
oddly enough. But I was glad to have found that song, and I was like, oh cool, I can learn this song, and then I was like, okay, I need another one that's kind of in that same area. So
Yeah.
I'm really proud of how that one came.
Yeah, it is a very nice, not melange, but medley. There we go. His is an eminent. Excellent. And so I had asked Lady Ainsley as well, and I will ask you, what do you enjoy about the Bardic arts and forming Bardic?
the breadth of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, we think of Bardic arts and we think of songs. But it's performing arts. It's juggling, magic. It's whatever you can do in front of a crowd. It could be tumbling. Contortionism, I'm discovering may possibly, I'm still doing research into it, don't put me on this, potentially period in that moment.
Oh.
So I'm kind of trying to find information on that.
Interesting. Okay.
So I just enjoy how and there's so much power in music. You can lift hearts, you can make tears flow, you can inspire bravery. It's all about feelings.
It is. And you do a lovely job eliciting those feelings. Yeah. I'm glad that you have validated our calls for His Highness to do performances and interpretive dance.
I was thinking the night involved.
Oh, that would have
But
been
she
fun.
said the words had to be stated.
Oh,
So
you could have done like a modern dance. I mean, like joy.
I thought about it, but I figured I would just use the Hawaiian tremolo.
which was a beautiful. I really liked that a lot. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much again for being harassed in the street, as it were, and and also for bringing your lovely performance to myself. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. All right. Don't you love the segues? Don't worry. I'm sure it will not be a disaster when I move to the next lovely person. Right? Or when you drop the Terra Plumeria.
I caught it.
Hello and welcome back to, me. I'm sorry, guys. It's a rough life. So I don't have a competitor here, but I have tracked down one of our judges, and it is, what is your title, my friend?
Commodore Yuri Baker FL, of course.
There you go. See, I would have gotten part of it, but not all of it. So let's see how I can turn the camera. They love the fact that I'm just learning on the fly here. All right. So can you see yourself? That's marvelous. So, judging today, easy? No?
No,
Not even kind of?
Not even kind of.
Okay.
Everyone performed at an incredibly high level, and everyone was about the same level. So the differences between performers were very small.
Yeah.
Very small.
Oh, goodness gracious. At least it's your dog this time and not
At least
mine.
It's my dog. Hi, girl. You're fine, girl. Hi, girl.
I know. I'm sorry. It is my dog this time. Yeah. So how would we rate our dogs for Bardic performances?
Well, she's really only knows one song, and she sings it very loudly and off key. And I would appreciate if she would she develop a little bit more of her range.
Right.
I tried to get her to learn storytelling by watching.
It just didn't work well.
She just defaults to yelling.
Dogs. Yeah, mine likes to. The new one especially at night when nothing is all is happening in the house.
And when we've determined that early '90s hit, what's going on? It's her singing.
That's
her song.
that totally makes
That
sense.
is her song.
That is,
and
yeah.
That's what she's singing when she runs outside.
I love that. That is fabulous. Well, so let's see. Oh, so having been the Summits Bardic champion 2 years, or not 2 years run in a row, but 2 times, can you confirm that the stick is really so big and tall that it runs into door frames?
The stick of Bardic power is very tall, and it was the first thing where I had to figure out how to work the pass-through in my car, because there's no way that fits in anything in a standard sedan, like compact sedan. It just does not fit without pass-through, and then sticks all the way into almost to the front seat.
Oh goodness gracious! Yeah, we've accidentally brought some spears home and run into that same issue.
Spears, marking sticks.
Yeah.
Bardic stick power.
Oh goodness. Well, it's good to know. Good to know. Maybe I shouldn't compete then. I'd chew down there by the dog.
It's a nice sturdy piece of wood to stand with, though, so it makes a really good thing to hold and lean on.
Okay. Oh, hello, other friend.
Could you run off for a minute?
Okay.
Thank you.
Come here, Mama. You're gonna help me look cute.
It's okay. Zuliga stole my puppy for this same purpose. Hello. Well, so before we started with the live stream, we were talking about the rubric and just how difficult it can be to judge Bardic, because we do all have different.
The difficulty with Bardic is it's incredibly subjective. Like, we don't have some kind of material object to turn over in the hand and examine for. It's harder to examine for objective quality, because as much as there is a certain baseline you can do of, like, did the person manage to make it through the performance all the way? Did they? You could go on things like flubs or mistakes or how prepared the person was, but beyond that, you're really talking subjective territory of how much did it move me?
Right.
How much did I feel like they engaged with me? Did I feel like the person on stage presented the best version of this? And that's that area where it gets very, very complicated to judge, and how much it can really be judged is a question in itself.
Yeah, well, and it's especially difficult where if you have someone who does make some flubs, but then also connects with the audience in a much more strong way than your other competitors.
Well, I've seen performances where I was mostly impressed by the person's voice.
Right.
Like, this is also a very courageous thing to get into, because you were putting a lot of yourself out there, putting yourself on the line and being vulnerable in front of an audience, and not every audience member is going to connect. effectively with what you're putting out there. So it's risky. It's a vulnerable situation to be in, and it takes a decent amount of courage to be willing to stand up there. So anyone who does Bardic, I'm impressed just from the baseline of getting up there. To get up there with skilled and professional bards and still do all of your performances, that impresses me a lot. That's a whole thing that I'm applauding that alone. Being like, do more of that. Do
Right,
more of that.
right.
You know, you may not have had nearly the skill level, you may not have had nearly the performance quality, but just that courage to get up there is a whole step in the right direction.
Yeah, no, definitely. It is very impressive. Yeah. Zuleika had mentioned the possibility of tumbling being a Bardic art. She did say not to quote her, so I'm not quoting Zuleika.
I have not yet seen tumblers, or I've seen jugglers.
I might take it up just for the.
It's.
Wait, no, actually, I'm too old. I might have my child take it up just for the fun of it.
I mean, again, difficult to judge, but you know, there is a certain level of where I can be like, that was well executed, and you did do that, and like, good job.
Right. That's excellent. So I have asked the other two folks that I've talked to, what do you enjoy the most about the Bardic arts? What brings you back to this particular table?
A lot of things. There's a deep well of possibilities, and it's even in narrow areas of performance, you can still see a lot of variation, difference. Yeah, getting to see it. I mean, I think it also comes back to that level of ability too. It's like there's something very special about seeing someone present something that they put so much into, and when you know, like, good Bardic performances are great to watch. Excellent Bardic performances are stuff that legend, stuff like remember all the time. And also, I'm a gigantic ham who's on the stage to get on, and that's partly what draws me back to it. Is that I have a lot I still want to do, and I really enjoy this as a thing to do, as a place to grow, as an area to. It's mostly, I do this a lot this is the thing I do mostly for fun. Like steel fighting, especially rapier, there's a whole component of I have a very specific goal I'm after. But this is a much more freeing area where it's all just about challenging myself. So I challenge myself to be better. I watch other people to see what their performance is like, you know, some either as a comparison piece of like, oh, that was really cool, you should try that thing, or like, oh, I've been watching you perform for a while, you know, I really like all the evolution of your playing, and it's really exciting. So it's seeing each person's evolution, choices, what they are presenting, getting to see that presented is always worthwhile. It's always worth doing.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to totally not be hassled by me in public. You know?
You're welcome.
And it's always nice to hear from the judges and know that it is I don't want to say that it's subjective, but to know how important our heart is when we perform. So thank you again. And see the puppy text. Hello, puppy. What a sweet girl. What? Dog? It's a dog.
I'm going.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you again. And I'll go find my next victim.
soft in the glen, there's the muffled sound of men and the murmur of the battle drum. Fill your cups with either wine or beer. We will stand together, never fear. And we'll drink down a toast to the brave and bonny host that fights for the banner of Montier. Now the light of the sun spreads over the hill. It scatters the mist from the green. And there in the clear come the warriors of Montier. Their black and golden banner can be seen. Fill your cups with either wine or beer. We will stand together, never fear. And we'll drink down a toast to the brave and bonny host that fights for the banner of Montier. Oh, see them advance as a wall of steel, each man with his sword and his shield. Now they charge with a cheer for the water of Montier, to win or to die upon the field. Fill your cups with either wine or beer. We will stand together, never fear. And we'll drink down a toast to the brave and bonny host that fights for the banner of Montier. To the crest of the hill flight the brave and the bold, where the slain thickly lie on the field. Now alone in the clear stand the warriors of Montier, and the foemen at last are forced to yield. Fill our cups with either wine or beer. We will stand together, never fear. And we'll drink down a toast to the brave and bonny ghost that fights for the banner of Montier. Oh, strike up the lute, all ye minstrels, whose skill is renowned far and wide. Come tell us again of the mighty band of men who carried the battle for our side. Fill our cups with either wine or beer. We will stand together, never fear. And we'll drink down a toast to the brave and bonny host that fight for the banner of Montier.
Lion's pride, lion's children, hear my song and heed your king's word. Lay your plows, your books aside once more. Harness steel, harness stallion, pay no heed to fields left barren. Join your sire's side and ride to war. For we'll face the foe with honor, join the battle fray with valor, strike wonder in the western foe's hot core. As we charge into the war throng, our clear voices raise the blood song, and from every mountain high resounds our roar. Oh, from every mountain high resounds our roar. Arm your sons and train your daughters, rouse your sisters, cousins, brothers, answer fortunes knocking at your door. Quit your home and leave your hearthstone, join the Grail and Griffin and Throne, down to your eyes and gladly ride to war. For we'll face the foe with honor, join the battle fray with valor, foes hardcore. As we charge into the war throng, our clear voices raise the blood song, and from every mountain high resounds our roar. Oh, from every mountain high resounds our roar. When summer comes with cuckoos singing, grows the sound of anvils ringing, forging blades to smite the foe once more. Polish helm, burnish armor, raise your glass, then raise your banner, lay your tools aside and ride to war. For we'll face the foe with honor, join the battle fray with valor, and strike wonder in the western foes hardcore. As we charge into the war throng, our clear voices raise the blood song, and from every mountain high resounds our roar. Oh, from every mountain high resounds our roar. Sharpened blade, tightened bowstring, blow the horn, let the harp sing legends rise, we live old tales once more. Strengthen arm and mind and sinew, show the world what lions can do. He commands it, out here rides to war. For we'll face the foe in honor, join the battle fray with valor, and strike wonder in the western foes hardcore. As we charge into the war throng, our clear voices raise the blood song, and from every mountain high resounds our roar. Oh, from every mountain high resounds our roar. Mead halls from grand pavilions throngs a host with might of millions. Teary rise, let griffin twins now soar. With honor bright, with kingly bearing, roar your pride, your song, your daring. None can best a noble heart at war. For we'll face the foe in honor, join the battle fray with valor, and strike wonder in the western foes hardcore. As we charge into the war throng, our clear voices raise the blood song, and from every mountain high resounds our roar. Oh, from every mountain high resounds our roar. Oh, from every mountain high resounds our roar.
present to you the Baron and Baroness of Audiantum, Brainyar, and Isis.
Their Highnesses welcome their Excellencies, Baronessa Jimena of Terra Corvaria and Thane Clovis de Walton of Terra Corvaria.
Good gentles all, witness the power and grace of Terra Corvaria.
You almost got through that.
It wasn't even me this time.
Their Highnesses welcome their Excellencies, Baronessa Milistandia, Filia Wilhelmi Fili Roberti of Glingdufen, and Pierce McTarla of Glingdufen.
Behold, the winds blow up from the south, bring the smell of pine and pears. Could it be the Pantheon and coronets come before you? Witness their arrival and the glory they bring with them.
Thank you. I feel like I've missed an opportunity to go witness.
Please join our chorus. It's like the amazingness of the talent that just walked in with you. Like that was like music's and storytelling and wonderful joy.
For the youngest barony,
Right.
in England.
That's good.
Thus resumes the court of their Alpine Highnesses. Please be at your ease.
I was good most of the day.
With that, you want to head on stage?
Yes.
You can think about it.
Well, okay.
I was just kidding.
Yeah.
Words? I don't have words for today. Just my heart's full. It's today was fantastic. If you didn't see all 3 rounds of the Bardic, that was just phenomenal. It was a joy to see. It was entertaining. The skill was just. I had chills and little hairs popping up. It was wonderful, and the amount of work that went into the arts and sciences was jaw-dropping. Any of you that entered that or helped your consort put on the displays and their classes, I don't have words for it. It is just fantastic. I learned so much, and even people who I knew what they were going to present, it was presented in such a way that it was entertaining as well as educational. So thank you all for the work that you put into Bardic. Thank you for the arts and sciences work that you did, and if you did any service today, thank you as well. This event ran very smoothly, and it's still going.
No, I think the thing that struck me the most today was how so many of you went so far out of your comfort zones in the most amazing way that you wouldn't even know that there were nerves. You wouldn't know that this wasn't your first time doing a competition versus your 10th time doing a competition. And that is truly something to be proud of. And so we hope that tomorrow brings you victory, whether that is becoming the champion or just the pure ability to know that you accomplished so much this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Send forth word for Weiston Albright of Terra Corvaria to enter this court.
Yeah. Hello, Weiston. How are you? Good.
Buddy.
It's great to see you. Let's read the award and then we'll do it.
Know all the arms of our fair principality. The Grail is set among the signs of the 3 pillars that support the glory of our land. The griffin shows our fierce martial skill. The laurel wreath is the symbol of our artisans. The mountain stands for enduring service. Weiston Albright, your valor and skill have shown wings like the griffin. Therefore do we, Wayland Ibn Rustam and Lindis de Aquisgrano, Griffin, Prince and Princess, grant unto you the token of the Grail of the Summits. Bear our sign with pride. we set our hand and seal this 18th day of February, Auto Societatis 57.
Weiston, I was quite surprised to find out that you did not have a martial grail. You have fought since you moved here, I believe, and then many, many wars in Kaid. And so we wanted to rectify that situation and acknowledge not only your contribution to the fighting community, but your skill on the field as well. Man?
He's been my defender,
I know.
So I was really pleased to see that you win that. I felt like you have been a challenging fight for years now since I met you, and he's the type of fight that it's a sneak. Like he comes in and he doesn't have flowy, flourishy things, and he still beats you. And I blame kind of the left hand. But I've been a fan of your fighting for years now, and I just look forward to seeing you back on the field and get to cross swords with you every time I get the chance.
Your wife says sexy too.
It makes her happy. You have to do it. Thank you.
3 cheers for the newest recipients of the Marshall Grail. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
So this was designed by Anara Bernstocker, and it was calligraphy by Adrian von Brandenburg and illuminated by, I can't read that.
Soraya. All right. Oh, there you go. Thank you so much.
Let those officers of the summit and their deputies who have not yet sworn an oath to their highnesses come before them now.
Hello.
Hello.
Here do I swear by my mouth and my hand. My true service in the administration of my office. Honest counsel will I bear to you in all that may concern this round. So long as you rule the summits, the waters of the Grail run clear, and the silver griffin flies free. So say I, Radnavar Hawkinson.
This oath do we hear,
And for our
part. We pledge to you and your deputies, our assistance, guidance, and advocacy. We will support you in your service and your office. For long as we rule the summits, and the high mountains hold the Grail up to sky. So say we, Wayland, Coronet.
So say we, Lindis, Coronet.
Thank you.
Joyfully, our most generous highnesses call the name of Margaret Inyan Domhnall of Briar Oak to their presence.
Thank you for the stand, however you're comfortable.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
I'm good. I'm good. You did such a wonderful job today, organizing the competition, keeping it going. I really appreciated your banter in between educating us, which was fantastic. But more than that, you have given service to this principality for a long time in the form of arts. I remember the performance that you gave for Their Excellencies Bato and Emma, and then numerous occasions of showing up with the stick and doing the thing, and even before that. And so we would be minded to bestow upon you this.
The foundation of our principality rests within the 3 virtues which make up the symbol of our great land. The Grail is set among the sign of the 3 pillars that support the glory of our lands. The griffin shows our fierce martial skill. The laurel wreath is the sign of our artisans. The mountain stands for enduring service. Without the fair laurel wreath, there would be
be none to enrich our lands through the beauty of their art. Thus, Margaret and Yadamael, Dewey, Wayland, Ibn Rustam, and Lindis, the Aquisgrano, Alpine Prince and Princess, grant unto you the Grail of the Summit in recognition of your artistic skills. Bear our sign with pride.
So thank you so much. The charter was designed by Janara Windswift, and she also did the calligraphy and painting. Thank you so much.
3 cheers for the newest recipient of the A&S Grail. Hip hip! Wayland and Lindis, coronets of the summits, now call upon those of the populace who wish to swear their fealty or support and service to the coronet of the summits. Please come forward.
I love your grace.
If you can't reach the grill, just with permission, you can ask to touch the shoulder of the person. Yes.
Wonderful.
Are there any that you choose for service in lieu of service? Okay, I will do yours first, and then yours can respond. Here do I swear by my mouth and my hand.
Here do I swear by my mouth and my hand.
For my steadfast and true service.
For my steadfast and true service.
My fealty and true service.
My fealty and true service.
Faith and truth will I bear to you.
Faith and truth will I bear to you.
In all matters that concern this realm.
In all matters that concern this realm. So long as you rule the summits. The waters of the Grail run clear. And the silver griffin flies free. So say I.
This oath do we hear and for our part. We pledge to you and your households our protection. We will watch over and shelter you. We place ourselves between you and your foes. So long as we rule the summits and the high mountains hold the grail of the sky. So say we, Wayland.
So say we, Lindis.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
She's adorable.
Good
teamwork.
Goodness.
You know, they say that they put you guys next to me because it's an order of precedence thing, but that's not always the case. So I can keep my eye on
Well, let's make it.
On that note, Zuleika Al-Zarka of Shire of Corvaria, the coronets of summits, now call you forth.
See, I threw you off balance. You had no clue.
Hi.
Hi. How's it going? It's
Oh, it's great. How was your day?
busy.
Yeah.
It's good because you've not only been a competitor in the Bardic Championship, 3 separate performances, but you've also been running the live stream all day. And just hanging out. That's awesome. Yeah. But this is just a small sampling of how you typically are at events. You're performing and you're doing service and you're doing both seamlessly. From being seneschal, from being a future event steward, right? From all of the help you give, just setting up, taking down, and supporting the rest of the populace of Shire of Corvaria as well. And so, because of that, we would like to give you this.
Know all the arms of our fair principality. The Grail is set among the signs of the 3 pillars that support the glory of our land. The griffin shows our fierce martial skill. The laurel wreath is the symbol of our artisans. The mountain stands for enduring service. Zuleika, your service to our great principality shows the virtue of the hills, and we are greater for the efforts of your service. Therefore we, Wayland, Ibn Rustam, and Lindis de Aquisgrano, Griffin Prince and Princess, grant unto you entrance into the Order of the Grail of Summits. Bear our sign with pride.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This charter was designed and the calligraphy was done by Countess Elisabetta, and the illumination was done by Asni Brudestad. Wow, thank you so much.
3 cheers for the newest recipient of the service grail. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Zuleika, I need your help again.
Huh?
Have it announced.
Oh, yes, I do. That's what I thought you was
Wow, I really distracted that.
Right.
Job.
All right. Your Highnesses, may I address your
Please.
populace?
Hello, everybody. We are, as they mentioned, I'm a future event steward. I'm helping run Bardic this year. Pre-reg is open. So please, if you know you're coming, please pre-reg so we can get that ball rolling. We are accepting PayPal for pre-reg as well as paying at gate if you would prefer doing that. We're just doing cash and check at gate. There is a meal plan, which is being planned by Stefan. We're keeping tabs on him. We are keeping tabs
He
on
said
him.
fealty. I trust him now.
And we're having our Bardic Championship. I have to step down. We're having our youth championship again this year. Yay! We are also having heavy and rapier tournaments. So please come and have fun, and there will be games out as usual. The Kingdom event page is up to date as of this moment, and I will work at keeping it that way. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Griffin Prince and Princess seek Ainsley Emmerich to present themselves in this court.
Please.
Hello, Ainsley. How are you? Good.
I just recently met you back at Bash, right?
No, it was Glenn Dupin.
Samhain, thank you, Samhain. And I gotta say, I'm a fan. Like, how long have you been with us in the SCA? Did you hear that? Less than a year. That is phenomenal. That's just the best. And to see what you did today, it makes my heart happy for what we're gonna see tomorrow, and then a year from now and 5 years from now. I want to thank you for being part of my SCA. And yes.
Your story, please stop. Your story about the dragon and the knight. I love that there was a female knight. And now, like, all day I've been like, I'm going to be that knight, that dragon. And so it was so inspiring to me. And because of that, we would like to award you this.
Across the Laurel Kingdom, verified by the persistence of memory, the Bardic arts form a thread in the great tapestry of human experience, which illuminates and connects our lives. Throughout the summit, a silver chime is used to mark those composers and performers who speak with stentorian voice, soothe with dulcet and melodious sound, or entrance with rhythmic gesture. Know all that we, Wayland, Ibn Rustam, and Lindis, Aquisgrano, Griffin Prince and Princess, are moved by the work of Ainsley, and that it pleases us greatly to acknowledge they are worthy of such recognition. Henceforth, let all make room for the members of the Order of the Silver Chime at their fire and feast hall, for they are the keepers of tradition. We set our hand and seal this 18th day of February, Anna Societatis 57.
Thank you so much. Your talent is
3 cheers for the newest recipients of the Silver Chime. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
guys didn't hear the story about the Knight and the Dragon, you should get her to tell it to you because it is wonderful. And she created it today in 1 hour.
Their Highnesses invite the children of Summits to approach the Griffin Groves. That's chronological. Okay, yes, children.
Sorry.
I did see.
There she is.
There we go. Come.
Paul is hiding. You got this.
Yes. Here, I'll point and then you can choose what you want.
You want the kazoo.
There you go.
Your court.
I'm her auntie.
Yeah.
Remember, you hear a kazoo during court. You told her.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So,
Oh my gosh.
Weiston, would you be willing to take the
Would you
chest?
do me a favor? Weiston's gonna grab this chest. Will you follow him?
And then you can take your time to pick, okay? No rush.
I would heckle him.
Oh my goodness, she's adorable.
A joyous noise for the youth of Summit.
Oh, good, more just join. Sometimes you just don't want to come up in the court, and that's okay.
No, I had a bloody nose.
No.
I hope you're okay.
The baronial coronets gift their Alpine Highnesses with the riches of their lands, so that the word fame of Summits artisans can spread far and wide when their Highnesses travel and exchange gifts with others throughout the known world. By way of thanks, their Highnesses share the bounty they receive as well along their travels.
Yes. Largesse exchange is a very important tradition.
Yeah.
The point of largesse exchange is to spread the word fame of the artisans of the summits. And so just as we give largesse to the barons and baronesses from places that we have traveled throughout the kingdom for them to give to their populace, we ask people of the summits to give largesse to their excellencies and to us so that we can spread the word fame of artisans throughout the summit, throughout the known world. So that's why we take these little moments in court. I think it's super important that folks know why we're handing all these bags back and forth. But if you've ever received a token or a prize at an event, it is often coming from largesse.
Joyous as always.
Your Excellency, I'm modeling the newest and largest bags.
Oh, no.
Your
Highnesses invite all for whom this might be their first event to come before them.
Do we have anybody? This is the first event.
We did. That was the child with the kazoo. It's fine.
Okay.
I mean, Your Highness.
All right, no newcomers. Bring new people to events so we can give them awesome things.
Rowan Keel, the coronet of the Summit, calls you forth now.
Rowan, Seneschal of Corvaria. How many times has this now?
The Seneschal?
Yeah,
Second.
second time as Seneschal.
I didn't learn better the first time.
Rowan, you have been one of the handful of people that have helped Corvaria exist and thrive for many, many years. And I don't know if you even remember, we met when rocks were soft.
Yes.
As I saw you helping running events and just helping everyone, whoever saw you with anything that they needed. And so I was really surprised that you didn't have this award. And so I am very happy to give this to you. And if it's your second, that's okay too, because you deserve more than one.
Know all the arms of our fair principality. The Grail is set among the signs of the three pillars that support the glory of our land. The Griffin shows our fierce martial skill. The laurel wreath is the symbol of our artisans. The mountain stands for enduring service. Rowan, your service to our great principality shows the virtue of the hills, and we are greater for the efforts of your service. Therefore we, Wayland Ibn Rustam and Lindis de Aquisgrano, Griffin Prince and Princess, grant unto you entrance into the order of the Grail of the Summits. Bear our sign with pride. Three cheers for the newest recipient of the service Grail. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip.
That charter was designed and the calligraphy was done by Elizabetta and it was painted by Fortune Birch Thomas.
Mistress Dussault, at the request of their highnesses and the Arts and Sciences champion, has a little bit of an announcement for everybody.
By your leave,
please. I was asked to speak briefly about the rubric and the judging process in an arts and sciences competition. And as many of you know, we have a Kingdom rubric. And I do want to start out by saying that not everyone competes in order to acquire a score on a rubric. I have, over the years, had people tell me, I compete because I need a deadline to complete my project. So I aim for the contest. Perfectly legitimate reason. Other people say, the reason I enter contests is I want to meet the judges and the other people entering because I want to meet my fellow geeks and share my passion so I know who I can talk to. Some other people say, I don't care what the score is, I just want to get some expert feedback because I know what I want to do. I want to see how it strikes someone else. And then some people enter a contest because, hey, it's a really cool prize and it'll look really good on me or the mantle or whatever. Or maybe, like today, you might get a job out of it. But using that rubric, when you look at it, it goes from nothing to 6. But the 6th column is labeled as a bonus. Mostly, we don't give out 6s, okay? This is like way above and beyond, but we wanted to have something there for that. Basically, it's on a scale from 1 to 5. And you think, okay, there are 20 criteria to be judged on. 5 times 20 is 100. Oh my God, this sounds like school. It's not. It happens to add up to 100. But think about it this way. If you get all 4s, you'd have 80 points, and you would be awarded Scholar of On Tier. That means you're really good. You're not perfect. Who among us is? Saving your neck. But 80, solid 4s. And that's like, got most of it. Not all of it, but got most of what you did. The way the rubric gets used is we don't grade differently for a baronial or a principality or a kingdom competition. We use the same rubric, but the expectations are different. If you're going for kingdom arts and sciences, the expectations, of course, are going to be set higher. When you're entering a baronial competition, it may well be your first one. You're starting out. So you're on the same rubric, and it is not bad to get 3s. It means that you're on your journey and you're moving forward, and you're going to get good feedback about where you can go next and how you can improve. It's not a judgment. It's just a mark along the way. If you think of this as a journey, it takes it out of that judgment thing and puts it more in the sense of a guide. And good feedback from the judges should give you guidance of what you can explore also, or take further, or did you think about this, or whatever. So don't ever be afraid of the rubric, because this document will tell you 20 different things that you can do to make your project really good. It's actually your set of instructions. And the judges happen to use it too, and they just want to see where you are moving toward that perfection that's always out there and we're not ever going to attain, but we're going to have a really good time along the way. So I think that that's how a rubric should be used. And I think today, talking with the other judges, that's what's happening here. It was a delightful day to judge. I want to encourage you, when you get your score sheets back and on the research papers, your papers may come back marked up by some of us who can't control ourselves. Don't be afraid to contact the judges. The email of the judge is on each form. We would love to speak further with you. Just geek out about it, give you some fuller feedback, because it always is fuller in person than it can be when it's written down with 10 minutes to go before you have to do the next judging. So we'd love to talk with you. And it's, you know, it's an opening in that path to find somebody else who is following the same one with you. And I was pleased to see today some of you who were presenting objects or presenting research papers. You had the thing, and then you used your presentation to expand on that. It's like, okay, here's what I wrote in my paper, or here's what I did on my thing. But let me tell you a little bit about the choices I made to get there, and the other things that I'm not going to go into, but rabbit holes I'm reserving for future exploration, so that your presentation can go beyond the thing. You've done the thing, and use this as your guideline. But the presentation is a way to, to take a few more steps or to fill in stuff that you just really want to say because you're enthusiastic about it. So I think that's probably what I should say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Would all those who served as a judge today please come forward?
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of judges.
Or devoted more than an hour of their time towards the running of the art and science competition.
Wow.
Does that include
It's like half the event.
We had a lot of
So this event obviously is a community event. And the fact that all of you volunteered your time to geek out on people's art and give us feedback is so important to the artist community and artist growth and just to the principality itself. So we would like to give each and every one of you a rain point as thanks for, thank you, for your time and your dedication today.
Thank you for
Thank
spending
you
your
so
day
much.
doing this. It met the day.
This was no easy, just check in and listen to somebody. A lot of you had to do research for this days and weeks in advance. It's super fun, I know. All right, we got a line going here.
For all those who
You have one.
contributed
Well,
their time
thank you
to
nonetheless.
success of the day, 3 cheers. Hip, hip. Hip, hip.
It wasn't
the Congo one.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I think the chicken dance would have gone well.
Very not stuck in my head.
I love you.
Lady Lita, with the exceedingly Ukrainian name that I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing. Would you please come before their highness, please?
Please stand.
I had such a good time listening to the story of your beating, and especially the story you told about your father, and your beating that you did for him. And then the work that you presented today was amazing. The fact that you did the beating and the metal work completely like blew my mind. And so we know that you obviously have done this out of the love in your heart for your craft. And we just so appreciate your artistry. And so we wanted to give you this. I'm sorry.
Thank you. You told me a story today that was wonderful. How old were you when you did the patch on your father's shoulder? 14 years old. You've been beating since then. That's a labor of love, and it shows in your art. If anybody did not see her beaded bag, it is jaw dropping. I had to look at it 3 times because I thought it was embroidery, but no, it's how many beads?
Oh, between 8,000 and 10,000.
Yeah.
Between 8,000 and 10,000 beads. It is glorious.
40 hours worth of work, I believe you said. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your labor of love with us.
The foundation of our principality rests within the 3 virtues which make up the symbol of our great land. The Grail is set among the sign of the 3 pillars that support the glory of those lands. The griffin shows our fierce martial skill. The laurel wreath is the sign of our artisans. The mountain stands for enduring service. Without the fair laurel wreath, there would be none to enrich our lands through the beauty of their art. Thus do we, Wayland Ibn Rustam and Lindis Aquasgrano, Alpine Prince and Princess, grant unto you the Grail of the Summits in recognition of your artistic skills. Bear our sign with pride.
Thank you so much.
A joyous noise for the newest recipient of the Arts and Sciences Grail.
The charter was designed by Janara Windswift and illuminated by Soraya.
The coronets of the Summits bid Christmas carol of Terra Pomaria welcome to their court. Liar.
Good. Hi, Christmas. Was it a good Noel for you?
In cloistered halls, hidden from sight, are the unsung heroes of any coronet reign. For in the dim candlelight, with backs hunched over, ink-stained fingers and eyes strained, are the beautiful works of art created, which the coronet awards to a deserving populace. Thus, it is for tremendous such labors and feats of fortitude, with quill and brush, does Griffin Prince Wayland Ibn Rustam and Griffin Princess Lindis de Aquasgrano recognize the service of their subject Christmas Carol with entrance into the Order of the Argent Quill.
This was designed by Her Excellency Genevieve, calligraphy by Adrian von Brandenburg, and illuminated by her as well.
A joyous noise for Christmas.
So some things you might not know about our wonderful Christmas carol. Christmas has been ascribed for quite a few years now, helping at the baronial level, the principality level, and I think kingdom as well. Is that right?
My first one hasn't been announced yet because
Oh.
it's part of the 48-hour backlog.
Don't tell. Christmas submitted her first design this rain. And we have incorporated that design into our charter
Three of
bank.
them.
So 3 of them, because they're so amazing. And so we just wanted to really recognize her scribal skill and the contribution that she's made to the Summit scribal community as well.
The following members of the populace are requested to come before their highnesses. True Tierson and Temperance Truelove.
There's that
Hi.
Hello.
Greetings.
Thank you.
I hear you guys, you both like archery. A little bit. A little bit.
True Tierson, Temperance Truelove, and the not present Alejandro de Haro. These individuals have earned recognition in archery, being ranked in the top 10 of archers in the Kingdom of Antir with their respective weapons.
Wow.
We're getting those.
And so these were given at Ursulmus by the Kingdom Archery Marshal. Yeah. And so one for each of you there. And then there should be a bigger one back there. Thank you. And True. She knows.
She's in the know.
everything.
She is in the know.
Temperance is our court coordinator. It's very hard to hide things from a court coordinator. You also received a medallion for period vote.
Archery. It's ICAC.
Impressive. Impressive shooting.
Absolutely do, and everything that you do,
It's not
and
it's not
archery.
your blood, man.
And archery. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Please stay.
So while it is difficult to hide things from your court coordinator, it is not impossible. Let us begin with a joyous noise for our archers. And now, come forth, good gentles of the land, and know our words. Our fair principality has ever been graced with those who are shining exemplars of service above self. They are the heart of our land, and from them flows the lifeblood of our reign. On this day, we wish to honor one to whom our gratitude is beyond measure for the joyous service that they have shown us during our reign. Viscountess Temperance Truelove, you have ever been gracious and loyal. For your sacrifice do we, Wayland Ibn Rustam and Lindis Aquasgrano, Griffin Coronets of Summits, wish to grant you entrance into the Order of the Heart of Summits.
It should come to no shock to anybody here, the amount of joy and love she brings to all of us. We are all benefiting every single event because of this woman. Thank you. Thank you for your joyous service. It means the world to all of us.
Temperance is a treasure that I don't think that there are words to clearly articulate just what you bring to the principality and all of the reigns that you have supported since you were princess and before that.
Yeah.
So thank you. This very small token of how much we adore you. Thank you.
A joyous noise for Temperance's heart. Rodnavar, did you have anything you wanted to say about Eggles?
Intense. I think
Or
this or
Isolde? Or Isolde, sorry.
whichever one of you would like to speak.
Or both.
We're a team.
Do it. Absolutely.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rod Navar, and I, along with Damien Schultz, will be the event steward for this upcoming Eggles tournament, end of May, Memorial Day weekend. So we're going to, after last year, we had some difficulty with the weather, and we were,
Sorry.
and everybody, a little bit of trouble with the weather. We've mended the pavilions, and, so we're after last year being the first after a couple of years of being off because of the Great Plague, we got started again and tried to do the traditional things, but not all the traditional things could get done, and then there was the weather. So this year we're going to try even harder to do more of all of the traditional things, and we're putting in a reservation for excellent weather. There will be just masses of martial tourneys, archery, thrown weapons, rapier, cut and thrust. And the people in armor get to hit each other with sticks too. There will be arts and sciences competitions. There will be just all kinds of stuff going on. And also this year we're going to bring back the Three Pillars competition, which again, one of the traditional things that we didn't attempt last year just because there was too much going on. So Dame Isolde will actually be running the Three Pillars competition. And we thought it important to bring this up in front of the arts and sciences community, because one of the three pillars, in my opinion, one of the most important parts of the Three Pillars, having been a lousy tourney fighter in my career, it's like, so all of you artisans, start thinking about the Three Pillars competition. There are going to be competitions within the Three Pillars competition in the areas of costuming,
Decorated useful objects.
Okay, all right. I was trying to interpret your shorthand there. Decorated useful object, heraldic display, scribal or illumination. Brewing and voyage. Voyage cooking. Right. Okay. So keep an eye out on Facebook. We'll be rolling out. We've already started rolling out information on Three Pillars, and we'll be rolling out more information on the event. Keep an eye out there for more details as they become available. But take this as early warning. Start getting your arts and sciences projects ready. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. You're right.
So go to Eggles.
Yeah, Eggles. We'll be there.
Nice weather promised.
The event stewards, Cassandra Devereaux and Temperance Truelove, have business. Except to theirs, decided to get letters. They show up in March.
To begin with, we have a little bit of largesse from our Shire.
Oh.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. All right. Well, we're just gonna keep on.
And then we have a few announcements. Let's see. To begin with, today, our little fundraiser has raised $147 so far. So that's one. We had 80 people through gates so far today for the event. Display setup
setup time for the display will go from after court and when other people manage to get their stuff out of the way, get and packed up until about 9 o'clock tonight, and start again at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Breakfast will be at starts at 7:30, and will be make your own burritos. So we won't have 2 people making your breakfast tomorrow. Oh,
Can we pay them to do it?
But thank you.
You gotta ask.
But thank you, Carrick and True, for doing it this morning.
I have one item in Lost and Found at this point. It is a variegated knitting needle. It's very pretty, but I think you probably want to take it home. Perhaps it's found its home. The Corvaria Rapier Championship will be at 9:30 tomorrow. Heavy practice immediately after court. And I think that's all I have.
And those displays are open until court and then after court, right?
Yeah. So displays are open at 9 o'clock and will run until they're done, I guess. And if you have questions about that, Seamus is the one to talk to.
What time is court tomorrow?
9.
That was,
No,
no, that's the
11.
display.
Oh, 11. Sorry.
11.
I don't know what day it is.
11 a day.
I think the Laurel meeting is actually at 9, right?
I don't know.
Right.
There's a Laurel meeting tomorrow.
It's on the schedule. So,
The most important thing I want everybody to hear is the displays are from 9 to 2. So please check out the displays. And then rapier fighters, please participate in Corvaria's Rapier Championship.
Please. I've been radio champion for 3.5 years. I would really like to find success here. He's the best.
Yeah. Yuri needs a rest.
That's all
We want to thank you for this event. This feels great having everybody here at this event and seeing the amazing Bardic and arts and sciences. So please take this small gesture as thank you.
Three cheers for the event stewards. Hip, hip.
All right. Say something? Aren't you tired of hearing me?
Nope. Dad, no.
So we're coming into the end of the evening, and I just want to thank everybody. There was so much joy today. There was so much service. It was entertaining from start to finish. So many great one-on-one conversations. This is Summits. This is what I love about Summits. These events, I can't look at any of you and not have a fond memory, including memories from today. So thank you. I look forward to tomorrow morning, getting up bright and early and starting another abbreviated day of fun with you. So thank you very much.
There being no further business for this court, thus suspends the court of their Alpine Highnesses until tomorrow morning at 11 a.m.
Yep. All right, go forth.
Royal Majesties, Otto, Leonora, long life! Long life! For Prince Wayland and Princess Lindis, long life!